RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. CBS Sports presents the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Redskins. Hi, everybody. I'm Vin Scully, along with George Allen. Going into the ball game, the quarterbacks would be almost even, but there's one great running back out there by the name of Wilbert Montgomery.
Well, that's the Redskins' job to try to stop Montgomery. The Eagles are going to run that football, whether it's Montgomery or Harris or Campbell. The Redskins have to stop the Eagles' rushing attack if they have a chance.
Now, the field goal kicking would appear to be almost even because the Eagles suddenly come in here with a marvelous barefoot kicker by the name of Tony Franklin.
I'd give the Redskins the edge because of Mark Mosley's experience and also Mike Bragg's ability to kick out of bounds on this particular field.
Going into the ball game, Jack Pardee was quoted the other day as accusing Philadelphia of holding in the line, and Dick Vermeil was a little bit angry and said, "I thought Pardee had more class." What do you think Jack was trying to do?
Well, Vin, every team in the league does a certain amount of holding. I think that's more strategy than anything else.
All right, it's the Eagles and the Redskins, a big one, and let's go down to the field and await the opening kickoff. And down on the field just a moment ago, the Eagles won the toss. They have elected to receive. They'll be going left to right on your screen. And that means Ron Jaworski, Wilbert Montgomery and company, fresh from a beating, giving Washington by 11 points 2 weeks ago. And the Eagles have won 2 straight against the Skins, and they will put it in play from the kickoff. The Washington Redskins coming home from a road trip where they won 3 out of 4, and now they'll settle in. Mark Mosley will be kicking off, and of course deep for the Eagles, Wally Henry, number 89. He'll be a man to really watch, along with Louis Jamona. So Mosley teeing it up on the 35. The weather is magnificent. In fact, they are expecting the temperature to go somewhere between 80 and 85 degrees. An hour ago it was 76. There you see Wally Henry. Henry, the 3-year man out of UCLA, and look at his numbers. He was a free agent picked up by Philadelphia 2 years ago, and he has been outstanding. But when he returns today, he'll be returning against the #1 club as far as punts and kickoff coverage is concerned. So Wally Henry is the deep man. He'll be flanked by Camfield on his left and Jamona on his right. And Mark Mosley about ready before a full house. 92 consecutive sellouts at RFK Stadium. All right, Mosley says he is ready. The official says it's time, and here we go. The Eagles are 6-1, Washington 5-2, so it's a particularly big game for the Skins. Mosley's kick is high but not deep, and it'll be Camfield on the 8. Camfield to the 15, to the 20, still on his feet across the 25, decked at the 27-yard line. Now let's take a look. Quarterback Ron Jaworski. He'll be testing his ankle with Wilbert Montgomery and Leroy Harris, the running backs. The wide receivers, Harold Carmichael. He's caught a pass in 103 consecutive games. Keith Prefley, the tight end, and a wide receiver, Charlie Smith, number 85. Up front, Walters Payroll, Morris, Peoples, and Sizemore. 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Eagles. Smith goes wide left and Carmichael right, and Montgomery deep man out of the eye. Montgomery and Ducek picked him up, and down he went with Dave Butch, making sure he stayed down.
Well, today, then, the Redskin middle linebacker, number 52, Okowitz, will get a real test against this good Eagle running attack. That time the Eagles shifted and ended up in an I formation. And number 52, Okowitz, will have to stay at home and not overrun, not over-pursue.
So it is 2nd and 9 on the Eagle 27 as Montgomery picked up 1 yard. Remember, he scored 9 touchdowns in 3 games against the Redskins. Lamar Parrish picking up Smith, the wide receiver, and there's a little release to Wilbert Montgomery, boxed in and slips at the 30. Pete Wysocki, number 50, making his first start in 8.5 years in the league, and he wouldn't go for the juke, and Montgomery went down. Let's take a look at the Redskins defensively. Lorch, Butts, Talbert, and Bacon. The linebackers, Ducek, Olkowitz, the rookie, the middle linebacker starting over Don Hover, and Pete Wysocki starting over Rich Milato was a broken wrist. Parrish, Lavender, Houston, and Murphy in the secondary. And Parrish coming in has been responsible for 9 turnovers in his last 8 games. So Jaworski now has the 3rd and 4 from the 32. Carmichael in a slot right. Inside Smith. Jaworski ducks under some pressure. Bad ankle or no, he is out racing Dusak and goes down with a slide at the 45-yard line to pick up the first down. And it looks like Jaworski's ankle's okay.
Yes, if he had any hesitation, he didn't show it there. He ran, picked up a big first down. Everybody was covered. The Redskins are playing number 69, Perry Brooks. He didn't face the Eagles before. He was on the injured list, and he's a fine pass rusher. They got a good rush on him. Butts is right in there. Now watch Jaworski put that ball away. Make sure he has the first down.
So it is 1st and 10 on the Eagle 45. They've moved 19 yards in the first sequence. A pitch back to Montgomery with Harris blocking for him along with Walters, and he is just shy of midfield. Wilbert Montgomery, number 31, and all eyes will be on him today. He gained 127 yards when last these teams met 2 weeks ago. It's his second straight 100-yard game against the Redskins.
And so far, both times he's carried the ball from the eye. Pretty good defense by the Redskins. They're penetrating, getting across.
2nd and 7 on the Eagle 48. And here comes Montgomery again. He just did dodge a tackle as he gets across the 50 and stacked up. Coy Bacon had a shot at him behind the line of scrimmage, and he was able to fake Bacon out, and that made the play.
That's the difference between a good back and an average back. An average back would have been hit for a 4-yard loss. Montgomery turned that into a 3-yard gain. Picked up 7 yards.
To the Redskin 49-yard line, and it will be 3rd and 4. Here are Montgomery's numbers. They're out of sight, aren't they? 9 touchdowns, and that's over 3 games. So 3rd and 4 on the Skins 49. Carmichael on a wing this time, and Montgomery is following Carmichael, still on his feet, fumbled. The Redskins are on the ball, but the fumble was after the whistle.
Whistle blew.
So Montgomery does not turn the ball over. Lamar Parrish, you'll notice, knocking the ball loose. Here he comes. That's Parrish, number 24. Spun him around, and then Tony Peters dives on him, and he leaves the ball on the ground, but the whistle has blown, even though Peters goes back to fall on it.
You know, Ben, the interesting thing is the Redskins are defensive Montgomery every down, and he's still making yardage. He's making some of it on his own.
Wilbert Montgomery picked up 117 last week. That's the 10th 100-yard game, and you see how much now Philadelphia needs to keep the drive alive. And the question is, would they gamble? And the answer is no. Max Runninger is going to punt.
It's so tempting to go for it. The smart thing to do is what Dick is doing. Punt the football.
Max Runninger, a rookie out of South Carolina. He's averaging a little under 38 yards, but what's important, he has kicked 9 out of 29 OB. His longest 57 yards. And deep is Hardiman, standing inside the Skins' 10-yard line. 11 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first quarter. So pull up a chair. We're just getting this thing underway. Jerry Robinson very wide for Philadelphia. It looks like he's the man who's going to try and get down under the punt. And the Skins are trying to pick him up and jam him on the line, and that's the reason for the delay. Here they come. And Runninger gets the kick away, and Hardiman will allow it to hit, and it drops flat, and it hit him. Hardiman scrambling with Jerry Robinson.
Oh, we got a fight over here.
And there's a fight on the field already, so let's wait and see.
Some bad blood. Redskins got there. The ball hit Hardiman, and he recovered it.
Watch the ball bounce, and this is part of the turf here, George,
yes.
Isn't it?
No crowd on this field. The grass is kind of high. It's great to lay a ball down and not have it roll out of bounds.
Introducing the first new truck of the 80s, the new Ford, the long-distance champ. It has the longest range of any truck in America. With a standard 19-gallon tank plus optional tank, you've got a 38-gallon capacity. That gives it an estimated range with optional overdrive of 722 miles based on EPA ratings. The estimated highway is 1,102 miles. More than one-third the length of America on one fill-up. Ford pickups, the longest range of any truck in America.
I think we got company, Wilbur.
Yeah? Don't surprise me none.
Max Runiger's kick, pinning the Skins back to their own 2-yard line. Washington putting it in play 1st and 10 from the 2.
Let's see, Ben, if Riggins carries the ball here.
John Riggins, number 44, along with Harmon and Malone. And Harmon now comes outside the tight end, Don Warren. It'll be Benny Malone, and he is stacked up by Hairston right about at the 2-yard line, so no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Riggins blocked for Malone.
Malone has had a very rough time carrying the ball. He's averaging less than 2 yards a carry over the last 3 games. In fact, he's failed to gain 10 yards or more in any of his 30 carries during that period.
Then he's doing a fine job of blocking, so those stats are a little bit deceiving.
So they give it to Malone, first time out. We'll see now. 2nd and almost 10. The ball may be moved out to the 3-yard line. And this time it's Riggins, and Riggins is stacked up. Randy Logan came up and took the block from Benny Malone and was still able to turn the play in and stop him.
We talked about the Redskins stopping Montgomery. The Eagles have to stop Riggins.
And Randy Logan certainly stopped him that time. A big defensive play.
I think Randy's one of the better safeties in all of football. He plays consistent games, doesn't make mistakes. He's very physical.
7 years out of Michigan, he was a 3rd-round draft choice for the Eagles. It really paid off. So it is 3rd and about 3, and they've moved the ball out to the 9-yard line. Harmon is all alone now behind Theismann. And here comes Harmon, and he's got daylight out across the 15 and across the 20-yard line, out to about the 23-yard line. LeMaster and Tortolo making the tackle.
Now, all of the plays are called for Joe Theismann. They're sent in by Joe Walton. This was what we call a sprint draw. Joe sprints out to his right. Harmon is a fine football player, underrated, an excellent receiver, a free agent out of Mississippi State.
Harmon last year was the first rookie to start a game for the Redskins since Mike Thomas back in '75, so you know he has to be good. So it is 1st and 10 from the 23. In motion is Thompson, wide to the left. And it's John Riggins, and Riggins has daylight across the 35 to the 39-yard line. Herman Edwards and Randy Logan brought him down. And by the way, George, you mentioned something before the game. You said it is extremely difficult for one pro team to beat another team twice. Why?
Good question, Ben. No matter how superior you are in the National Football League, that second game, it seems the underdog, the team that lost the first one, is fired up. The other team seems to be just a little complacent.
And
very
seldom trying to fight that complacency if there be any. 1st and 10 on the Skin 38, Riggins. And they stack him up across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Frank LeMaster, who had 12 solo tackles when last these two teams met 2 weeks ago, as usual, had his nose right in the middle of that play.
Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are a 34 team. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. They feature the zone. Marion Campbell does an excellent job of coaching their defense.
It'll be 2nd and 6 on the 42. The Skins started on their own 2-yard line, so they've chewed up 40 yards. Bugs is left and Thompson is right. And Thompson in motion, so they'll load up the left side. Theismann to Malone with Riggins and Williams blocking, and somebody got him from the neck. I think it was LeMaster, and just jerked him backwards. Frank LeMaster almost ruining Malone's jersey that time. Oh, what a pull.
Well, the Redskins' running game is John Riggins, basically, with that offensive lineup.
Joe Theismann, as the Skins come in and calling his signs, this club is 9th in total offense, 7th rushing, 9th in passing. They've only had 4 fumbles all year and no fumbles in the last 5 games. So that's a big plus for the Skins. 3rd and 3 on their own 45. And Theismann going to put it up for the first time today, and it is deflected and busted up and kicked off at the last minute. Bobby Howard speared the ball at his own 46-yard line, and Bobby Howard, 13 years out of San Diego State, makes a key interception for the Eagles.
There are times when any investor needs security. Protection from the unknown. Low-risk investments with a solid return. We know where the best ones are, because our strength, instinct, and resourcefulness is unmatched by any other investment firm. Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
Here comes the Kmart 672, the powerful car battery that's completely maintenance-free. Hook the 672 to this electric winch, and it can pull this 44-ton diesel locomotive. The Kmart 672, packed with power to deliver sure starts. If it can pull this 44-ton locomotive, you better believe it can start your car. Check it out at most Kmart automotive departments across the USA, where quality auto parts are Kmart priced.
Dear Great Pumpkin.
Monday, it's ghosties and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Monday at 8, 7 Central.
Dick Vermeil and the Eagles getting a big combination play. The pass deflected at the line of scrimmage by Dennis Harrison, who is 6 feet 8 inches tall, and picked off by Bobby Howard. So it's 1st and 10 on the Eagle 47, the first key break of the game. Carmichael is left. Spagnola's on a wing right, and here comes Wilbert Montgomery. Inside a Harris block, but he couldn't get much. Tony Peters and Harris have a few words.
Let's watch 52 Okowitz on this play. The big thing he has to be careful of is not overrunning the play. He came in and stood the guard up, did a good job. Didn't make the play, but he took the guard out.
2nd and 8. The ball is just shy of midfield for the Eagles. Carmichael going wide left. And Jaworski limping back slightly, setting up, and down he goes. Coy Bacon wrapped him up at the 40-yard line. You know, there's tremendous feeling in this game. We've already had punches thrown on 2 occasions, and Pardee summed it up. He said, we're going to do this game as if we're playing Dallas, and we hate Dallas.
It's they sure do hate Dallas. It looks like the Redskins are a little more fired up than the Eagles. Now, that's a good matchup, Coy Bacon versus Walters. And Walters, I think, is doing a fine job. He was in the Pro Bowl last year. Bacon's a better pass rusher than he is a run defender, and that'll be a good matchup this afternoon.
Dick Vermeil, who at one time coached Jack Pardee and the Rams, and now they meet. When Dick Vermeil came to the Rams, he was a special team coach, and evidently a delay of game or a timeout. A timeout for Philadelphia. So with 5:22 in the first quarter, no score.
Marvin and I just love to go camping in our Pinto wagon.
So does our son Richard. Right, Dad. We camp in our Pinto wagon, too.
And so do our married daughters.
Pinto's great for taking the kids. And husbands, too. That makes 4 generations and 4 Pinto wagons.
Introducing the 1980 Pinto wagon with the best gas mileage rating of any wagon built in America.
For camping, you need a Pinto wagon.
And someone who knows how to cook.
And I'm that someone.
Right, Dad.
Remember this when you choose an airline. American was first with computerized reservations to answer your calls faster.
We were first with curbside baggage processing to handle your luggage faster. And we were first with one-stop check-in to get you through the airport faster. We're American Airlines, and finding ways to serve you better is one of the things we do best.
We're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
5:22 left in the first, and you can see scores of other games now. Tampa Bay 7 and Green Bay 0 in the first quarter. A pass from Doug Williams to Ricky Bell. Cincinnati 7-0 over Cleveland. Miami leading New England 3-0 early in the first. 3rd and 16 on the Eagle 41. Carmichael goes wide left. Smith is in a slot right. Inside Fitzke. Harris trying to block for Jaworski, who's deep down the middle, no good. It was intended for Charlie Smith. Lamar Parrish right there to defend.
Well, the Eagles, this is what the Eagles can't stand. They can't have the Redskins in the nickel and dime defenses. They have to be able to run that football. This is a high percentage pass. Charlie Smith was covered by Parrish. He was covered long and short.
Max Runiger will be back to kick. And going back, you have Hardiman flanked by Forte, number 30, and Harmon, 38. And Runiger kicking from his 30, and the Skins are going back to block. This one angling over to the right to Hardiman. He'll take it at the 16, and he is just missed by John Shara, and is finally knocked out of bounds, and there's a flag on the play. That was John Shara who went flying through the air, missing Hardiman.
You know, Vince, sometimes even though he misses them, he sets them up for somebody else, and we always like to tell him, get down there, take a shot at him. Whether you get him or not, you're doing your job.
There'll be a clip, and the clip will be against the Redskins. That would be the preliminary signal.
Hardiman has done an excellent job for the Redskins this year. Receiving, returning kicks. He's been a real plus for them.
Take another look and see. Here comes Hardiman now on the return, and you can see that would appear to be the hit from behind.
Well, that rule then has hurt punt returns and kickoff returns there.
Here's the referee.
Personal foul, clipping, number 51 on the return team. First down.
That's Monty Coleman. So Coleman is picked off clipping. And with 5 minutes and 6 seconds left, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Skins on their 11. No score.
From the people who brought you the workmate comes the incredible bench top. You can put it on a table or clamp it to a chair or use it on the roof or almost anywhere. It goes up in the attic or the basement down below. There's almost no place the bench top won't go. Black & Decker's bench top workmate, portable work center and vise. It turns the whole world into a workshop.
Introducing the 1980 Ford Fairmont, the right idea for today.
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont? The right idea for today. Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
Fairmont is the right idea for today, with even higher 4-cylinder mileage than last year. And in 6s with 4-speed transmission, no car beats Fairmont's estimated MPG.
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
Glad, glad, glad.
The right idea for today.
Next Sunday, it's a CBS NFL doubleheader. Check local listings for the games and times in your area. A super Sunday of football. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
No score, 5 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Skins put it in play. 1st and 10 from their 11. The first time they had the ball, it was 1st and 10 on their 2s, so they certainly haven't had field position. John Riggins on a play-action fake. Theismann setting up and going deep down the middle for Danny Buggs. Broken up. He was double-teamed by Wilson and Herman Edwards. And Herman Edwards, 3 years out of San Diego State, was the man who broke it up.
Now, the reason this is a good call is they fake to Riggins, and he's the guy that they have to stop. The fake freezes the defense. Joe has plenty of time. The Eagles do not get fooled. The ball hangs a little bit. Good defense came in over the top. Edwards did, knocked it away.
You know, Theismann is only one of 4 quarterbacks to complete at least half of his passes in all 7 games. Tommy Kramer, Steve DeBerg, and Dan Fouts. And you look at Carl Lorch, number 71. So it is 2nd and 10 from the 11. Second man is Malone trying to cut back. Johnson got him at the 15, and he fell forward to about the 17-yard line. Charlie Johnson, a big man, as you look at Joe Theismann.
What the Redskins are doing, they're breaking. There's Pete Wysocki out of the wilds of Canada, breaking their tendencies from that last set. That's Riggins' set. They're using Riggins as a blocker and Malone as a runner. They're trying to break their tendencies so that the Eagles don't overcompensate and stop number 44, John Riggins.
A study of the coaches, Dick Vermeil studying his boards, Jack Pardee sweating out his own particular thoughts. 3rd and 5 on the 16-yard line. Harmon and Hardiman are in there now. Theismann setting up on an outside rush, and he's got Warren, the tight end, at the 25-yard line, and that's enough for a first down.
Well, you know, Ben, the Redskins have their passing personnel in here, and what Joe is doing is going to a possession-type passing. And that's what he did last week against Cleveland. Smart football, get the first down. That's the expression you use there. Get the first down. Just get enough yardage to get the first down.
That's Don Warren, the rookie out of San Diego State, who is playing for Gene Fugit, who is out with a sprained knee on the sideline, and he figures prominently Mike Bragg, the marvelous punter for Washington. John Riggins trying to get outside. Wilkes slowed him up, and then Howard came along to bring him down along with Wilson. And it's not much of a gain, more a lateral run than anything else for Big John. And he's big.
Yes, he is. And he has enough speed to get outside. People don't realize that. John can run inside and outside. Now, that formation was what we call a blue formation. It's still a John Reagan set. It's the same as the brown formation. He lines up at fullback in both sets, and he's the big guy you have to stop. The Eagles haven't put much pressure on Joe.
That's Coy Bacon taking a respite, and the Skins trying to keep the ball. Theismann calling the signals. 2nd and 11 from the 24. Theismann looking left, now scurrying, chased by LeMaster, and releases to Malone, and Malone is decked by Totolo at about the 27-yard line.
Watch how the middle linebacker, 58, Totolo, plays this play. He doesn't get too deep. He's watching the quarterback. Now he comes up, makes a good tackle on Malone. Good solid tackle.
The ball on the 29-yard line of the Skins. It is 3rd and 6. They've moved it 18 yards. Theismann with a slot right. Thompson is inside Bud. And Gene Fugit is the tight end on the left side. Onside, I believe, and it'll be against Philadelphia. The pass is broken up.
That ball was almost intercepted. Joe, like several quarterbacks, does a good job of bobbing his head and using inflection in his voice bend to draw him offside.
I think it was Dennis Harrison, the big fella who... and he's drawn off. It was Joe Theismann then who drew big Dennis Harrison off.
I wonder if we can see that again.
Theismann is furious as he comes off the field.
Joe does an excellent job on that. Now watch Joe's head. See, he's pulling away and head bob. That's what we said.
So the camera picked it up, even though Theismann doesn't believe it.
And good work by the officials there. Very good work by the officials.
4th and 6 on the 29. And there's Wally Henry, number 89, back on his own 32-yard line. And there is Mike Bragg, 12 years out of Richmond.
Mike will keep that ball up. It'll be difficult for Wally Henry to return it.
Bragg will be punting from his own 20-yard line.
It's not the ball, Aaron.
Don Hober is back there to pick up strays, trying to come in the block. They're not coming, and Bragg, as you said, George, just hangs it up, and a fair catch by Henry, and the Skins will surround it and let it drop, and it'll roll dead on the 37-yard line. So the Eagles will put it in play, 1st and 10 on their own 37. And to give you an idea, the Eagles have had the ball starting off on their own 26, their own 47, and their own 37. But Joe Theismann, whom you're looking at, has started on his own 2 and on his own 11.
Yes, he has. We always felt that we'd rather get 40 yards and no return than a longer punt and the possibility of bringing it back. And that's what Mike Bragg did in that last kick.
1st and 10 on the 37 for Ron Jaworski. Carmichael wide left, but the workhorse play action fake to Montgomery. And Jaworski deep for Smith, and he overthrows him. Lamar Parrish right there running stride for stride. A reminder, this telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited. Danny Buggs, you'll see that 88 all over the place today.
Joe likes Danny, and Danny has done a good job since he came over from the Giants.
We can also duck in a score. The Jets are leading Oakland 7-0. Richard Tard to Wesley Walker, 21 yards for the score. 2nd and 10 from the 37. Jaworski only threw the ball 12 times the last time the teams met. And he's going down, and it's Donald Calvert who sacks him at the 30-yard line.
I'm surprised the Eagles are playing into the Redskins' strength throwing the ball. The Redskins' strength is their secondary, and then their pass rush, and then their linebackers next.
For Jaworski, a bitter pill. He had been sacked only once in his last 3 games. That's the 15th time. that the Eagle quarterback has been sacked this year. But only once in the last 3, but Darren Calvert breaks through to pick him off. Miami leading New England 10-0 with 4 left in the first quarter. So it is 3rd and 17 from the 30. Slot left formation. And Jaworski low and away for Keith Prepley, the tight end, but he never had a chance.
You know, making studies with our nickel defense, if they allow 16 to 17% of completions, it's a lot. Many times it would be 11, 12, 13%. When you get a quarterback in that situation, you have him on defense.
Max Runniger will be in to kick. Hardiman is deep, standing on his own 30. Forte up in front on his left and Harmon on his right. The Skins go back to block, and Runniger boots one deep to the right, and Hardiman will take it on his own 22. And a great tackle by Jerry Robinson.
Great play by Robinson. Great play by Robinson.
Jerry Robinson, number 56, a rookie out of UCLA, a first-round draft choice.
He took the blocker on, held his ground, and made the tackle, one-on-one on Hardiman. That's real fine defensive football. Watch him, right in there. That's a great play. 4.3 in that hang time. Pretty good.
Now, as Ike Forte comes off, the Skins get a little bit of better field position, 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. In motion goes Thompson wide right. Second man is John Riggins. And Big Harrison, number 68, and I mean big, 6'8", 275 pounds, 2 years out of Vanderbilt, and he's playing on the left side instead of Claude Humphrey.
Well, that's that same formation where Riggins is lined up at fullback. He starts weak and cuts back, and the linebackers have to stay at home. He makes his yardage on cutting back, hoping they will over-pursue, and he cuts back.
The Skin bench is alive. They're certainly up for this one, having lost to Philadelphia 2 weeks ago. 2nd and 8 from the 32. Riggins and Malone, the running back. McDaniel is wide left and Thompson right. And here comes Riggins on the first cut. Dragged down by LeMaster as he crossed the 45-yard line. First down, Washington.
Again, that's what we call the Brown set. Riggins at fullback. A weak side play. Riggins did that quite a bit on his own. He started wide and cut back. He's a tremendous cutback runner. Good blocking by Terry Hermeling.
Riggins, by the way, gained 115 yards 2 weeks ago against the Eagles. His only 100-yard game this year. The quarter has run out. Philadelphia nothing, Washington nothing.
Now, Billy, you know trucks.
Yep.
And we come to this Ford test track to see if they've been doing the incredible things they've been bragging about.
Yep.
How about this gas-saving 6-cylinder engine they're putting in the Bronco this year? Incredible.
It's frisky, all right.
And these new aerodynamic designs they've been shouting incredible about.
Well, them configurations do help to reduce wind resistance and drag.
Billy, what we gotta know is, can these trucks really take it?
Sweetness? I'm gonna find that out right now. Don't mind me.
Ford Motor Company has redesigned its entire line of light trucks to save gas. But we haven't stopped building them tough. If you could test one the way we do, you'd say incredible.
Is she tough, Billy?
She's incredible!
We're lost. Look, I salvaged this caviar. We got these T-bones. We can light a little fire. You're never going to find us. And I got a case of Strohs. Strohs? Still cold. We got Strohs? Would I let you down? Hey, look, hey! Don't pay any attention to them. Maybe they'll go away.
From one beer lover to another Strohs.
I'm Vin Scully along with George Allen. Welcome back to RFK Stadium in Washington. The start of the second quarter, no score. That first quarter went flying by. We had a lot of running plays, 16 running plays to only 9 passes for both sides. Washington 1st and 10 from their own 46. Theismann to Malone, and he is tied up behind the line of scrimmage. Charlie Johnson coming in to dump him.
Well, I think Benny, in the first quarter, the Eagles threw the ball a little more than we anticipated. Their strength is to run the football first and throw second. Now, on Malone going to the weak side of the formation, I don't think he has the speed to go wide. You're not going to make many yards on that.
In fact, they lost 6 to the Skins. They're back in their own 41, second and 16. And they bring in Buddy Hardiman now to spell Malone. Danny Buggs wide left. Warren, the tight end, is on the right side. Hardiman is on a wing. That puts Riggins all alone behind Theismann. And Joe going over the middle to Hardiman. Bunting grabs him. He fumbles. And it's picked up by Charlie Johnson. And Johnson recovers it for the Eagles. And that's the second big turnover by Washington.
Yes, and the Eagles have not taken advantage of the field position they have had. They've had excellent field position.
So the start of the second quarter, the Eagles get a turnover, but there's still no score.
Why have over 1 million people Midas-sized their brakes? Was it because they know Midas has brake mechanics that are specially trained? Was it because they know Midas has the right brake parts in stock? Or was it because they know Midas has over 20 years' experience under the car? Well, whatever the reason, it certainly was no accident. It pays to Midas-size your brakes.
For every part of your life, Nationwide.
At Nationwide Life Insurance, our agents know that when you're just starting out, you can't afford a lot. Yet you need thorough protection and something more. Life insurance capable of growing as your responsibilities grow to make sure every member of your family will always be properly protected. Nationwide Life Insurance plans for every part of your life.
Nationwide is on your side.
For the second time, the sun shines on Dick Vermeil. Earlier, it was Howard's interception after a pass was deflected by Dennis Harrison. Now Vermeil sees Charlie Johnson recover the fumble, and Wilbert Montgomery ready to go into high gear, 1st and 10 on the Eagle 49. Jaworski, however, goes to Harris, who is buried at midfield.
That fumble, by the way, was forced by Catolo. 50.
The Eagles going over some defensive strategy.
That's Marion Campbell, their defensive coordinator, who has done an excellent job since he came over from Atlanta.
He come here and he come here now.
That,
slow. You gotta play slow.
That's the play that Riggins hurt him on, pulling the guard in the tackle.
See it over there, John?
You got to stay at home.
But that flow is coming to you. So
you can't follow that pursuit is what he's saying.
He's saying that flow is coming to you. 2nd and 8 now on the Skins 49, and Jaworski with Harrison, Montgomery flaring out. Bad ankle or no, he's running. And he is spun down. And Coy Bacon picked it up. Coy Bacon picks the loose ball up. Neil Olkowitz gave the hit. The ball came loose, and Big Coy found it.
And Jaworski is limping. He hurt his ankle on that. That's
the second time that Jaworski has run today, and that's Olkowitz, 52, spinning him around, the ball flying into Coy Bacon's hands, and the veteran at 12 years out of Jackson State makes the recovery, and Dick Vermeil is now cut by his own sword, and he wants to find out about Jaworski's ankle.
Well, he's limping pretty severely. That's the last thing Dick wants, is Jaworski to run the football.
1st and 10 on the Redskin 43. Buggs right and Thompson left, with Malone and Riggins behind Theismann. And it's John Riggins, and he has some daylight, gets across midfield, down to the Skin, and on the move into the Eagle 48-yard line.
Then at the top of the show, we said the Redskins have to stop Montgomery. The Eagles have to stop Riggins.
And we have a look at Ron Jaworski, because the Philadelphia story rests on that bad ankle. You see him shaking his head. And, of course, all eyes will be on Jaworski, and can he make it?
He's real tough. If he can make it, he will.
So they move the ball to the Eagle 49. It'll be 2nd and 2. They picked up 8 on that run by Riggins. That's Thompson in motion to the left to go slot left. Inside McDaniel. Benny Malone trying to climb a skyscraper at the 45-yard line.
Well, Benny's doing the right thing. At first short yardage, go over the top. Give the ball to the second back. Riggins blocking. And watch Benny go over the top.
And he picks up the first down at the 45. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, they're working feverishly on Ron Jaworski's right leg. And there is the guilty party, that right ankle that he hurt last week. And they're going to put extra taping on to try and give him some more support. First and 10 on the Eagle 46. McDaniel is in motion to go slot left. Theismann is going to go left, and he's got McDaniel at the 40, and he's dragged out of bounds by Bernard Wilson at the 37-yard line. The other Eagle quarterback standing in the shadows of Ron Jaworski is veteran number 10, John Walden, 5 years out of Elizabeth City State, a free agent with the Rams and then a free agent with Philadelphia. He spent 2 years in the World Football League, and he might have to play.
He can do the job, Ben. He's a good man. He has the experience. He can run. He's got a strong arm, and he's an intelligent quarterback.
Second and 2 on the Eagle 38-yard line. Bugs wide right, and the Skins are on the move thanks to the recovery by Coy Bacon of the fumble. Second man, Benny Malone, tried to get out of a blocker's way, and down he goes. He was trying to get around Bob Kuzil, and Kuzil, the center, was down, and as he was trying to get around Kuzil, Terry Tortolo came up and made the tackle. It'll be second down, and they're going to measure.
Here comes Hardiman and Clarence Harmon in.
And that much to go for the first down. So that makes third and about 6 inches from here.
You know, Harmon can play fullback and halfback. He's very valuable. He's big enough to play fullback. He's fast enough to play halfback.
Well, we'll see Theismann now and what play he calls. And there's Ron Jaworski in some pain on the sideline. 3rd and 1 from the 37. Full house in the backfield, and now they split Harmon to go up on a wing. Hardiman and Riggins, the running backs, and it'll be Riggins straight ahead. Riggins would appear to have picked up the first down. Dick Vermeil, of course, is not worried about the field for the moment. He wants to see Jaworski, and that right leg is getting bigger and bigger, and of course John Walden is getting closer and closer to coming into the game. First down for Washington.
Picked up the first down.
As you can see, Washington has moved the ball. 6 first downs to Philadelphia, 1, but no score. First and 10 on the Eagle 35-yard line. Harmon and Hardiman are the running backs behind Theismann. Bugs is left. Thompson is right. Play action fake. And all alone is Danny Bugs, and he is finally dragged down by Herman Edwards at the 22-yard line.
You know, when they bring in Hardiman and Harmon, it usually equals pass, some form of pass. Play action, screen, possibility of a draw, and that's what they did on that down.
Now Ron Jaworski is up on his feet, helmet on, and about 50 pounds of tape on his right ankle, but evidently Ron is telling his coach, Dick Vermeil, that he's going to give it his best shot and be back in there. But they have to get the ball. It's first and 10 Redskins on the Eagle 21. In motion is John McDaniel to the right. Here comes Benny Malone inside John Bunting and gets across the 20. Pretty good block by Harmon on Bunting, and it made the play work. LeMaster making the tackle.
Harmon's a good blocker. They had Harmon at fullback and Malone at halfback on this play. Here it is. Hand off to Malone.
There's the block on Bunting.
Malone cuts back. Malone is a cutback runner. Malone doesn't have the blazing speed to turn the corner and go outside.
The ball is on the Eagle 18-yard line. The Redskins started on their own 43. In motion is Malone to the left to go outside McDaniel. And there goes Harmon, and he had a pretty good opening as he spins to the 15-yard line. He has to get to about the 12 for a first down. Wilbert Montgomery impatiently waiting to get his hands on the football. For Montgomery, he has carried 5 times for only 13 yards, and he is certainly not accustomed to that pace.
Now here comes Danny Bugs in with Hardiman. Out comes Malone.
And McDaniel. 3rd and 4 on the 15-yard line. And look at Tampa Bay as Doug Williams has them on the board twice, 14-0. Williams running it over for the second touchdown. They split Harmon and Hardiman, And timeout Washington down on the field because Joe Theismann on a 3rd and 4 wants to talk to Jack Pardee.
What happened is Marion Campbell sent in a running defense. Joe had the play before, called an audible.
Melvin Stark, CPA, is about to break free. In Ford Mustang, a sports car for the 80s. Mustang performs and handles like a sports car. Precise, sure-footed, yet Mustang delivers the mileage of an economy car. Mustang, a sports car for the 80s.
Gal, we're stepping out tonight.
Melvin, is that you?
Yep. Yes.
Next August, I'll be an air traffic controller. Guaranteed.
10 months from now, I'll be training in electronics. Guaranteed.
Even if you're still in school, you can join the Army now and take up to 12 months to report for duty. With your choice of training guaranteed in writing.
Next September, I'll be in Europe. Guaranteed.
This is the Army, and we're giving guarantees. Call this toll-free number now.
It's a CBS Sports Special. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, see the 1979 Turf Classic live. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Washington showing signs of keeping the ball. As you can see, their conversions 3 out of 5 to Philadelphia's 1 for 4. And this is another one. 3rd and 4. Theismann asking for quiet. Hardiman and Harmon. In a slot left goes Thompson inside Bud. Theismann looking left, and it is broken up by Claude Humphrey, number 87. Humphrey, who is 6'5", got his hands in the air. Remember, he was a free agent from Atlanta, but now with Marion Campbell, he's coming back.
This is the second batted ball. Watch how high he jumps. And the receiver was open. Now, Joe sometimes throws line drives. You got to try to throw around those people, throw through alleys. That was a big play for the Eagles.
Wade Key, who was just activated by the Eagles yesterday morning, a veteran, back with the Eagles again. And with the spot will be at the 24-yard line. And there'll be a flag on the play. Latimer came breaking through to crunch Mike Mosley. And let's see.
They hit Theismann on that. Theismann was hit.
Mark Mosley with the hold by Theismann.
There'll be 5 yards on the kickoff, running into the kicker.
So Latimer is guilty of running into the kicker, Al Latimer. And for Mark Mosley, he is now 14 out of 17 in successful field goals. And if he gets a point after, he has 45 straight. And for the Eagles, they will be penalized 5 yards on the next kickoff. But Pardee is happy because the Redskins are out in front, 3-0.
You're the skeet shooting expert. What am I doing wrong?
Let's talk about it over a beer. Better yet, over a Michelob Light.
A light beer? Since when? Since Michelob Light.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
This Michelob Light's one fine beer. Now, I can only raise my scores.
Hey, you want really high scores?
Yeah. Go back to golf.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
Okay, men. When we see the ambassador's Mercedes, we roll.
The surprisingly affordable Granada, sometimes mistaken for a Mercedes.
There he is. Roll.
Albert, are you speeding?
No, dear.
People in Washington sure are friendly.
I think they like our new Granada.
Are you sure this is the way to the Applebaum's new house?
I hope.
Washington has taken points off the board because of the running into the kicker. They have a first down, and Malone is going to go. Touchdown.
Straight up the middle. Nice run. Here's Malone right up the gut. Good blocking. Look at that hole.
Bob Kuzil and Jeff Williams opening it up for Malone. Remember, Mosley had kicked a 34-yard field goal, and they went off the field. But when Pardee realized it could be a first down, they took the points off and increased them. So Mosley now has kicked 46 straight. Benny Malone picks up a touchdown, and it is Washington 7, Philadelphia nothing.
That's a good decision by Pardee.
There are some coaches who hate to take points down from the scoreboard, but Jack had it 1st and 10 from the 10 and took advantage.
If anyone looks forward to the start of a new day, it's a Big A Auto Parts store, because each new day is filled with challenging customer requests for quality parts and friendly service. Take yesterday, for example.
Get an oil filter for a Ferrari.
Do you hook the black one to the plus or minus?
I need heavy-duty shocks.
A muffler for a Merc.
Boy, have you got metric tools.
Quality parts, friendly service. That's Big A.
Have you got a cup of coffee?
Sure.
The hard-working auto parts store.
7 copiers not only make great copies, they also make great copy.
Financial World. Its Series 700 models are proven winners. Forbes. Savin 750 copier was an overnight success. Sales and marketing management. Savin in 1 year raced from a standing start to first place in installing machines.
In fact, last year 7 outplaced Xerox and IBM combined. We wouldn't be winning over big business unless we offered big advantages. 7, the revolutionary copiers that are winning over big business.